Hey guys, M13 here. I got a video topic. The topic is just looking at that guy across the street. Looks like he has Down syndrome or something. He's mentally handicapped. Um, just the other day, I saw there's a mother with her mentally handicapped son, and she's like a small mother, like like 5'3" and thin, and then her son was taller than her, like 5'7" or so. He's young. He's only like, I don't know, maybe 13 years old. But he's like taller than his mom and heavy, a little bit on the heavy side, a little chubby. And yeah, he was. I think he has. He's mentally retarded, and then he also seemed to have epilepsy or something. I think sometimes those are kind of. Where are you gonna go? I think they're sometimes combined. Or I think mentally ill people are more prone to fits of epilepsy than other people. I used to volunteer at a mental hospital, and yeah, there was quite a few of the kids wore helmets, but I don't know if that was just because they trip a lot or because they're prone to seizures. Anyways, totally going. So I saw this mother the other day, and then she had this fairly large son, and then the poor kid was having some kind of a fit or something in the middle of the street. And this 5'3" mother was dragging him off the street by herself, and no one helps her. That's Taiwan, man. Well, that's the world. That's the world. I take that back. That's the world. Like, no one's helping her. And then I saw it, and I pulled over, and I offered help. But by that time, it was too late. She'd already gotten him off enough. She'd already gotten him off to the side. And I'm like, well, do you need my phone? Do you need me to call someone? Do you need help with something? And she's like, no, I'm fine. He's just sick. He's sick. I'm fine. She's smiling the whole time. She's used to it. She seemed embarrassed, which is, you don't need to be. Let's take that road. It looks farmy. I'm gonna make a video where I teach you about to slide in sideways. A lot of people ask me how I do it. I'm like, I don't know. I've just always done it. Anyways, yeah. So that was it. What was the topic? Oh yeah, I remember. The topic is, will I let my son ride a motorcycle? Somebody asked me that, and they said you should do it as a topic, and it's a pretty good topic. It's pretty complex topic because it really is. Here I am, Mr. All About advocating freedom and allowing people to like ride, and if not everyone dies, but not everyone lives, and blah blah blah, and dead end. So I'm someone who lets my dogs run free all the time, and people are like, well, aren't you worried they're going to hit by a car? And I'm like, well, if they get hit by a car, then that's their fate. But, I'd rather give them the freedom. Like, look at Babao. She's in her last years now. She's on her last leg. The average length of life for a dog is like 14 years, and she's 13 years old. So, and her whole life, she's not used a leash. She's always ran free. She's ran in freaking rush hour traffic. When she was young, what I would do is I'd go downtown in like heavy traffic, and I'd get up to like 40 kilometers an hour, and I'd tell her to jump off, and she'd jump off and land at a running pace of 40 kilometers an hour. And me and her would be doing 40 kilometers an hour through traffic that was doing 20, 30. So it was me and my dog just filtering through traffic, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. Some of you are saying, well, why haven't you ever gotten that on video? Well, she's 14 years old now, or 13 years old now. She's not, she doesn't run that fast anymore. Cujo does, and I was actually considering doing it with Cujo, but I ended up, he's antsy around people and stuff, so he's a bit more unpredictable. What are you doing, lady? Do you want to pull in? There's like a branch on the road. Yeah, I have no idea where I am now. Vague idea. So on the one hand, I totally advocate freedom over safety. But I think it's more important to be free than safe. That guy was weird looking, kind of like a gay vampire. But on the other hand, when it comes to your own child, it's tough. Um, my original plan was to get him on bikes as soon as possible. Like, just, like when he was like 6 years old, 7 years old, get him one of those little mini bike, pocket bike, whatever. But since then, I've had a change of heart. Now my plan is to get him on go-karts. I'll get him on go-karts at a young age. I'll get him racing, like, really young. Because I think I've noticed too that when you race, if you just race cars, you still kind of develop an aptitude for motorcycles, believe it or not. And if you race motorcycles, then the same goes. You kind of develop some level of ability with cars just by racing motorcycles, and vice versa. Obviously, less so for people who race cars, but it's still true. Because I know a guy who races cars, and then he got on a motorcycle for the first time ever in his life, and like 6 months later, he was like racing it and kicking ass. So it was just like, what the fuck, like he's got 6 months of riding experience, and he's just like destroying everyone on the racetrack. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get him started off with go-karts, and because they're a lot safer, and then and then when he's older, I think if he's gonna ride, it's gonna be on the track. Like I'm gonna kind of have it so that if he wants to ride fast, he'll just do it on the racetrack, and I'll tell him, I don't want to see you riding quick on the city streets. I don't want to see you flying down the street like an idiot, like your dad. So I don't know. It's a bit hypocritical, but everyone's a hypocrite. Everyone tells you, you shouldn't smoke, you shouldn't do this, but even if your parents smoke, they're still telling you not to. And if they're not, they're trash. How do you know your parents are trash? When they tell you, yeah, sure, son, you can smoke. I've been smoking for 20 years. Hasn't done me no harm. Your parents tell you it's good to smoke. They're trash. You got trash parents, that's good. Yeah, so I think the key points are, if you want your kid to ride, or if you're going to allow your kid to ride, then you should get them on a racing track. Because believe it or not, racing tracks are actually a lot safer than riding on the street. And if they're on a track, they're going to develop the skills needed to ride well quickly. In a really short amount of time, they're going to have excellent braking ability, cornering ability, everything you need to not crash on the street. You can develop quickly on a racetrack. So, not everything, because there's still you need a sense of traffic, and that can only be developed on the street. But hopefully my son will ride enough with me, and I'll be pointing out constantly. The kid will be sick of it. I'll be pointing out constantly what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, and what to look for. You need to be careful of this car because he's doing this, and you need to do this, and this intersection has this, so you need to look over here. And I'll be doing that non-stop with him before I let him ride by himself, and hopefully he'll be as analytic about riding as I am. Like, I try to make it a science. Like, I try to, when I'm riding, I rarely just ride and space out. I'm always trying to be aware of this and that. Anyways, this video's too long, I'm sure.